Hola clase, this is Señora Plastic, going to be finishing up the first unit para empezar, to begin. You'll be learning about in the classroom stuff and about weather before your final test for this week. So let's continue. All right, so you've already done the first of the unit objectives for para empezar, to listen to and understand greetings and announcements. And you're about to do the second one this week. Read a description of the weather and a list of school supplies. So let's continue. You've already learned how to greet people, introduce yourself, respond to classroom directions, use numbers, tell time, and identify parts of the body. This week, we'll be doing talking about things in the classroom, ask questions about new words and phrases, using the Spanish alphabet to spell words, and talking about the calendar and the Aztec calendar. Our next lessons will have to do with weather. So again, in class, we're going to talk about classroom things, questions, and the calendar in the classroom. So let's go over and how to say these things together. El estudiante, el profesor. La estudiante, la profesora. Notice how the males start with el and the females with la, and profesor becomes profesora. ¿Qué quiere decir lápiz? Quiere decir pencil. So what does pencil mean? Or lápiz mean? It means pencil. ¿Cómo se dice book en español? How do you say book in Spanish? Se dice libro. It is said libro. El pupitre. El bolígrafo. La carpeta. El lápiz. El cuaderno. La hoja de papel. El libro. So you should have pen and paper out right now so you can write these notes down. You will be using these notes for your quizzes and assessments. So, en la clase, to talk about the classroom. El bolígrafo. La carpeta. El cuaderno. El estudiante. La estudiante. Male and female. La hoja de papel. El lápiz. El libro. El profesor. La profesora, male and female teacher. El pupitre. La sala de clases. To ask for help, you would say, ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say? Or se dice, you say. And to ask what something means, ¿Qué quiere decir? What does blank mean? Quiere decir, it means blank.
¿Cómo se dice book en español?
So, escribe el objeto en español. Write the object in Spanish. So I'm going to give you time to pause your notes, pause the video, and start writing down these, and then you can go back and check your answers to see you did them correctly. Número 1, folder. La carpeta. Número 2, pencil. El lápiz. Número 3, pen. El bolígrafo. Número 4, sheet of paper. La hoja de papel. Número 5, notebook. El cuaderno. Número 6, student desk. El pupitre. Número 7, book. El libro. So, gramática, nouns. Nouns, you know, is person, places, things, animals, objects, and ideas. In Spanish, they have gender, like male or female. They are either masculine, male, or feminine, female. So everything in Spanish is alive, and everything in Spanish, all objects and items are either male items or female items, like male water, female paper. So you need to become accustomed to that in the Spanish language. So most nouns that end in O are male or masculine, and most nouns or items that end in A are female. The definite articles el and la also point out if a word is masculine, male, or feminine, female. They both mean the. So el is the male form of the, and la is the female form of the. Spanish nouns that end in E, like estudiante, or a consonant, like L or N or M or R, have to be learned as male or female, masculine or feminine. You should practice them with their definite articles. El, the masculine, or la, the feminine. So, el libro, the book, right? It is masculine. La carpeta, the folder, feminine. El bolígrafo, the pen, masculine, male. La hoja de papel, the sheet of paper. The sheet is feminine, la hoja, so it is feminine. Masculine. El profesor, the male teacher, feminine. La noche, the night, is feminine. Masculine, male. El lápiz, feminine. La conversación, the conversation. The last two, notice, don't end in O or A. This doesn't end in O or A either. You just have to memorize them as male or female as you learn the words. Definite articles. We already told you el and la can mean the. They also have different forms that agree with their noun in gender, which is male and female, and number, singular being one and plural more than one. So let's get this down to a science. All four of these words, el, la, los, and las, they all mean the. But depending on what comes after the, is the object male? Is it feminine? Is it just a singular object, one of them? Or is it plural objects, more than one? So let's go and see these examples. El muchacho, the guy. La muchacha, the girl. Los amigos, the male friends. Las profesoras, the female teachers. And notice how they match, right? El with o, la with a, los with os, las with as. I call this machi-machi, right? The front matches the end, right? Because if the phrase or object or noun or item is male or female, the entire thing has to be male or female, right? If it's single, el or la. If it's plural objects, los or las. Sometimes some nouns have different articles, like joven, young person. You can say el joven, la joven, right? The young guy, the young girl. Just like estudiante, we had el estudiante, la estudiante. And here are typical ending rules for feminine or masculine. If it ends in ma, el, o, or ese, all of these are usually going to be male items that you use el or los for. If it ends in a, sion, or dad, these are usually female items. You're either going to use them with la or las. So I think malos means bad, so I think of right, bad boys. And action dad, even though that's not feminine, it's funny to remember that, right? Action dad. So, practica. Completa con el, la, los, or las. So, complete with el, la, los, or las. So, cuaderno. Notice it has an O ending. It's not going to be los or las because it's just one item or object. So it's either going to be el or la. So with cuaderno, it is going to be el cuaderno. Profesora is feminine and singular. So if it's singular, it's definitely not going to be these two. It's going to be one of these two. And it's feminine, it's going to be la. La profesora. Look at amigas. Plural, let's machi-machi with it, right? Feminine plural, there's only one of these four that's feminine plural. Las. So the girlfriends, las amigas. The books, plural. So let's machi-machi, right? It's male and plural. This was the only one that's male and plural. Los libros. En clase. Up. There's no S, so it can't be los or las, but it ends in an E. How do you know? Is it el clase or la clase? Well, I'll tell you, it's just la clase. And how do you know? You just have to memorize it when you're learning the words for the first time. Indefinite articles. Indefinite articles means that anyone will do, right? We don't have a specific one in mind. I need a pencil instead of the pencil, or I need some pencils instead of I need the pencils, right? Anyone will do. They're indefinite. So same thing. There's male, female, and male plural, female plural. So un and una both mean a or an, and unos and unas both mean some. So if I would say ella es una amiga, She is a friend. Amiga, female, feminine, and singular. I need a feminine singular article. Es una amiga. She is a friend, and both are feminine. Necesito un diccionario. I need a dictionary. Un, because it's diccionario, ends with an O. If it was ended with an A, it would be una instead of un. ¿Tienes unos lápices? Do you have some pencils? Lápices is male. Now it's plural. We added an S. So instead of saying tienes un lápiz, it's tienes unos lápices. So like we said, indefinite articles agree with the noun in gender and number, right? Is it one thing or is it many things? Is it masculine male or feminine female? So un libro, a book, masculine. Una mochila, a backpack, feminine. Unos libros, some books, plural, plural, os. Unas mochilas, some backpacks, right? Unas mochilas, machi. Cuánto, mucho, and poco. To talk about the amounts of things, use the following adjectives. The words also agree with the noun they describe in gender and number. So they agree whether it's male or female, or in singular and plural. So, cuánto, cuánta, cuántos, cuántas. How much or how many? And depending what comes after, is it male, female, singular, or plural? Mucho, mucha, muchos, muchas. A lot of, much, or many. Poco, poca, pocos, pocas. Right? Little, not much. Few, not many. So, let's look here. ¿Cuánta tarea tienes? How much homework do you have? Tarea is feminine and singular. So you have one of these four options you can choose from. With tarea, the only one that matches is cuánta. ¿Cuánta tarea tienes? We're still talking about homework. So we want to say, I have a lot of homework. You say, tengo mucha tarea. And if you don't want to say tarea, we still know we're talking about the tarea, the homework. You would still say, tengo mucha. Why? Tarea is feminine and singular. Mucha must also be feminine and singular. So let's complete. Practica. Complete with un, una, unos, or unas. So a notebook. We know cuaderno is masculine, so it's either un or unos, and it's singular. There's no S, so it must be un cuaderno, a notebook. Now, how do you say a teacher? We have profesora, so which one here matches with it? To say a teacher, we would say una profesora. Some female friends, right? Feminine A, plural S. So which one goes with amigas? Unas amigas, some female friends. To say some books, we need one of these to complete this. Some books would be unos libros. And a backpack, again, feminine singular. This is the only feminine singular one. Be una mochila. So practica. Go to clever.com, click on the Pearson Realize app to enter your online textbook Auténtico and complete the following activities. Do them in order and don't go ahead. Do the assigned activities, actividades 1 and 3, and core activities, combinaciones.